Hey yo, I'm the bad guy, Scott Hall, and you're watching The Closed Fist. Don't miss it.
Hey guys, this is Jeremy Wheels. I am conducting my first interview, and I'm here with Nova from Downland, Ontario, Canada. How are you
Hello.
doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you
Good.
for taking the time, by the way, and doing this interview with me. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So, how are you doing during this COVID-19 weird time we're at? Pro wrestling's kind of a little bit at a halt, during, for the indies rather. And yeah, how are you doing?
It's been quite the time, I must say, quite the odd time. I am trying to keep my everyday routines to stay productive. I am still working and on shift work, mind you. Otherwise, just doing what I have to do to stay focused with my pro wrestling, stay in shape, keep my mind sharp, and just work out as much as I can and stay strong.
Awesome, awesome. Staying busy. That's the key right there,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
So, you are you watching any pro wrestling right now?
Right at this specific time, no, because I'm in the middle of shift work. So my
Okay.
focus is on that with my job in emergency services. Otherwise, I will be watching Money in the Bank in 2 days.
All right. Yeah, I can't wait. And thank you for your service too. I want to tell you, we all greatly appreciate it.
Well, thank you. It's my pleasure.
And so I wanted to talk a little bit about Northland Wrestling. I see you just won a championship over there. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
The true Patriot champion over here.
Yes,
You took
sir.
you took on Dan Jarvis.
That's correct.
How was the match?
The match was very good. He tried to take control right at the beginning, and I just had to show him that even though I'm a female, I am a lot stronger than he is. I'm a lot fitter than he is, and that title is mine.
Yeah, you absolutely proved that without a shadow of a doubt. And that over there at the promotion, understanding it was the first time for intergender match.
That's right.
It's huge.
Yes, we made history.
That's such an awesome feeling.
It's an
Um,
amazing feeling, and it was my very first title win.
that's awesome. I mean, you get the first match there, intergender match, and you get your first title. That's
That's
yeah.
right.
I mean, what else can you ask for, right?
Absolutely. It's been a childhood dream come true, honestly.
So, some of the wrestling promotions that you have wrestled at, Hustle Brand Wrestling, Northland Wrestling, Real Solid Wrestling, you want to talk about any of those promotions and what they mean to you?
Rock Solid Wrestling is the very first promotion that took me on and remains very close to my heart. When in 2018, I was just interested in entering pro wrestling, didn't really know how. They are the promotion that I contacted just to see if I could maybe run the ropes a little bit. Maybe I'm good at it. Who knows,
Hmm.
right? So I immediately began chain wrestling in the basement of the owner's home, which is
Hmm.
Tornado. And I literally learned on the floor of a basement, just doing small little drills here and there. So once I graduated from their training, and I had to move on to different gyms that had a ring because Rock Solid Wrestling doesn't have a facility. I had to train out of Crossbody Pro Wrestling in Kitchener, Ontario, and Tyson Duke's Wrestling Factory in London, Ontario. So once I was totally trained with that, I did begin with Rock Solid Wrestling and Smash Wrestling. Those were the two promotions I commenced with.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I was doing some research of mine, and looked like you took a month off to go train. I mean, that's pretty devoting right there to just
Yes.
take a whole month to go train for pro wrestling.
Yes. Basically, what was happening was in Sudbury, Ontario, where I was training in the basements, it's about 6-7 hours away from the closest ring. So what I was finding myself doing was working, at the time I was working a Monday to Friday job.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as my shift was done Friday afternoon, I'd hit the road and I'd be traveling 6-7 hours one way for about an hour and a half of training and then driving home. This happened for almost a year.
Wow.
So, as you know, muscle memory is very important, and it was extremely expensive and hard to retain that memory when I'm going, I'm coming home for a full week and then not training again. I knew I had to do something to stay sharp and get, a good chunk amount of training in. So basically what I did was when January 2019 hit, I took all of my annual leave, all of my work vacation in one chunk.
Mm-hmm.
And I moved out to London, Ontario, and I got trained by Tyson Dukes at Tyson Dukes Wrestling Factory.
That's amazing. Just a quick question. Who is some of your favorite wrestlers that you've wrestled so far?
Some of my favorite wrestlers I've wrestled so far is Casey Spinelli. She's an amazing wrestler, vet. Jody Threat is an upcoming star, and she's such a powerhouse, and I learned so much from her. I can't forget about Violet Lee because she is one of the very first wrestlers that I began my career wrestling against, and ended up wrestling against her for many, many matches. So I got myself better through her.
That's awesome. Who's a wrestler that you would look forward to wrestling sometime? Either indies or WWE, AEW.
A dream come true would be Tessa Blanchard, of course.
Okay.
But as of right now, I would say it would be Giselle Shaw. And the reason for that is because when I began with Rock Solid Wrestling, not even as a wrestler, just paying my dues, putting up the ring, taking it down, doing camera work, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Giselle Shaw had a match versus Casey Spinelli that night, and when I got into the ring before the show to get some training in, she went out of her way to help me. And it's what they say, you don't remember the things that people say, but you remember how they made you feel. And I remember that moment specifically, and I was super humble, so thankful, and she is such a talented wrestler that I cannot wait to enter the ring with her one day.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome. That says something about her too, going out of her way to, give you a few pointers. You don't meet a lot of people that are like that. So that's pretty awesome.
Absolutely. It's very memorable to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So have you been a pro wrestling fan your whole life?
I have. I've watched WWE and WCW, ECW growing up.
Oh, okay. Who was your favorite wrestler?
Jeff Hardy, 100%.
Jeff Hardy. Okay, that's awesome.
When he came back, I was over the moon, happy.
So you had a WWE tryout and less than a year of experience. I mean,
Yes.
just take us through, just a little bit what you went through,
Absolutely.
mentally.
It's a very crazy time because at the end of March 2019, I had my very first pro wrestling match with Smash Wrestling. 2 weeks later, I am flown out to Orlando, Florida by the WWE to the Performance Center and having a 4-day tryout. Like, what is happening here? Everything just happened all in one shot.
Yeah,
I was
dream come true.
Yes.
That's amazing. I mean, you know, you like you said, you're a wrestling fan your whole life, and you know, who would have thought that you'd be at the performance center trying out in front of wrestlers you watched and on TV growing up as a child? That's so awesome.
It's a childhood dream come true, and I am so thankful for the opportunity.
So as we start to wind down here, I just a couple last questions here. What's a promotion that maybe you look forward to doing business with in the near future besides WWE?
I would love to start with Impact Wrestling. I believe that that would get me to the next level, 100%.
Okay. And I see you're a gamer. We'll end on a gaming question here. What's your favorite video game to play right now?
I'm going to say I'm an old school gamer, and I don't play all the time anymore, but I'm still into Mario Kart.
Oh, all right. Big Mario fan myself.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a second. Anything you want to plug before I let you go?
Not at this time, I guess, other than just saying I hope everybody, stays safe. What's happening right now, I hope everybody keeps, their health and their mental health on top. And I look forward to seeing everybody at the shows in the upcoming future.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you, and congratulations on your new championship you won, the True Patriot champion here, Nova. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day for this interview. I really, really greatly appreciate it. Like I had said, this is my first interview. I hope I didn't mess up too much. So
You
thanks.
were perfect.